Kanye West has officially lost it. I'm sure we've all seen his crazy acts within the past couple weeks. From calling his wife Bianca Censori an object to exploiting her to hundreds of thousands of people at the Grammys this past weekend. And because of that, allegedly Kanye and Bianca Censori are now getting divorced. And if that wasn't enough as is, let's not even talk about the hate merch that he posted on Twitter that displayed a very harmful symbol. It's honestly disgusting. He quite literally spent $8 million on a 30-second Super Bowl commercial that he literally made from a dentist office. And it was all essentially to promote this one hate merch that he came out with temporarily. I mean, it was displayed on Kanye's website, Yeezy.com, for 24 hours. He obviously sought no issue with it. Kanye is having one of his worst crash outs ever, and we're gonna get more into it, so sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So let's rewind a week and a half when this all really began. And out of nowhere, Kanye West unfollows everybody on Instagram but Taylor Swift. He wasn't even following his wife, Bianca Censori. When he unfollowed everybody, he was posting that he only followed Taylor. It was almost as if he was trying to brag to all his followers. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of weird, especially seeing the history that Taylor and Kanye have.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
And things essentially went back to normal. He unfollowed Taylor Swift and only followed his wife once more. At least that's what we thought, and we should have known based on Kanye's history this wasn't the end. Because essentially him and his wife Bianca showed up to the Grammys unannounced, allegedly with no invitation, to the red carpet. And Bianca is essentially in this black, luxurious, gorgeous robe, which was kind of a little off-putting seeing that's the Grammys. You don't really wear something like that there, but it was cute. So Kanye and Bianca essentially walk up to the red carpet. They're just kind of talking, moving back and forth, doing poses. And then Kanye essentially whispers into Bianca's ear. She turns around in what seems discomfort and drops it. This is where things start to get really freaky. I mean, the girl seemed really uncomfortable on the red carpet. Kanye didn't care. He said it several times. He sees her as an object, and that is never healthy in a relationship. Anyway, shortly after that whole stunt happened and the paparazzi got all the pictures they wanted, they decided to leave, which at first people thought that they were kicked out, but Kanye did respond and say that they just wanted to leave. It was boring. But if that was the case and it was so-called boring, why did you even show up in the first place? I know, for attention. That is something Kanye has always seemed to crave. Hence why he probably said those disgusting things on Twitter to get attention, but we'll get more into that in a second. Now, essentially after they went home from the Grammys because it was considered boring, Kanye took to his Instagram and posted the most jaw-dropping images I've ever seen. At least from somebody of his status to be posting. So essentially it looks like he took his wife to like a studio or something and got Polaroid and professional pictures of his wife nude and posted it all on his Instagram. Bianca was like, okay, let's do it, because she posted them on her Insta as well. Kanye knew what he was doing though, because shortly after all this controversy, he took to his story to essentially say that his wife Bianca was more searched than the Grammys that day. He was essentially saying fuck you to the Grammys as he didn't get one reward. I personally think he's a little bit shady that he didn't get one for Carnival, because that song did take over the internet for a good couple months and it was charting. Regardless, what Kanye did is nothing to be proud of. The only reason your wife was even the most searched that day is because everybody heard about what was going on and was getting curious on what was happening. Anyway, enough about that situation. Let's get into Kanye and his whole Twitter controversy. So a couple days after the Grammys, Kanye took to his Twitter and said some jaw-dropping things. He basically used his Twitter as like a vent box onto everything he was thinking, feeling that day. You know, yes, that is something normal for people on Twitter to do, is argue and kind of express their feelings and emotions, but not the way how Kanye did. Like, take a look at this tweet he posted with absolutely no ease, thinking it was no problem. And it just gets worse from there. After all the backlash he was getting from saying these absurd comments, he eventually decided to respond and said that it was a social experiment. Personally, I think he was just trying to cover his ass for what he was saying. And I mean, I was right, because that comment originally where he said this whole thing was a social experiment, he took it back and said this: I don't like that I called this a social experiment. I'm tweeting everything I felt and I'm not taking back anything I said. And he essentially just continued with those disgusting tweets like these, as well as this comment right here. Like, did we forget the countless men and women and children he abused in every way possible? No, he didn't. He just doesn't care because he wants attention. I don't think that everything Kanye is saying he actually believes. I think this is all about getting attention. But anyway, if you guys thought that was bad, take a look at this tweet right here. Puff is a a way better dad than my dad and a better dad than me. And then from there, he goes on to say this: I wish I had the relationship with my dad that Puff Daddy has with his kids. Are you fucking kidding me? Out of all people, you're looking up to Puff Daddy. Like, did he just forget about all the cases that Kanye has against him about him doing stuff with children? It also is really shocking to me that he's saying this type of thing because, again, he straight up called Kanye along with many others a Fed maybe a year and a half ago. I wonder what changed.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard niggas, fuck you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard niggas, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got talk is because you did a deal, you fucking Fed.
Anyway, if everything I've already told you wasn't bad enough as is, let's talk about what he did with something that one of Diddy's victims was wearing. Because during one of Kanye's crash outs on Twitter, he literally made temporary merch inspired that one of Diddy's victims, Cassie, was wearing. And he wanted to make sure we all got the reference onto what he was trying to refer to. So he posted the picture of Cassie, at the time Diddy's wife, wearing the hoodie and used that traumatic instance and situation for all personal gain. Like, how sick are you profiting off somebody's trauma like that? Everything I just told you, Elon is letting happen on Twitter, on X. But then he finally pressed the stop button. He finally said, Kanye, you have done enough, and basically restricted his account so it could no longer be showed to a broader audience. The only thing that really influenced Elon to put a stop to that was Kanye started posting literal adult videos all on Twitter. I guess that is what Twitter is, but it's different when you have such a high reach he does. It gets seen quicker and easier. He took that moment to temporarily promote shirts and hoodies with that hate symbol on it. And then that's when Elon was essentially like, okay, now this is enough. You've used this hate speech symbol and made merch out of it. It's time to put the brakes on it. And yeah, Elon suppressed the account. Kanye realized what happened and deactivated his account. And that was that. At least we thought. Let's talk about a more recent event that happened with Kanye. His Super Bowl crash out. That still has the internet baffled. So yeah, kind of like I mentioned earlier in the intro, Kanye essentially spent $8 million on a 30-second ad during the Super Bowl. So yeah, that ad seemed pretty normal. It was a little weird, but normal, until people went to go check out his website. Naturally, that's what the ad was for. Previously, he had also ran a pretty normal ad at the Grammys that basically stated he will be coming out with new music, merch, etc. And so that's what people thought was gonna come from this. But no, 30-second ad of Kanye in the dentist office, and then people go to his website and see this. A Nazi t-shirt on sale for $20. The fuck? I'm honestly just really confused on how he got away with this in the first place. I know how. Kanye did the old switcheroo. When he submitted his ad to the Super Bowl campaign for approval, everything on his website looked pretty normal. But literally within like an hour or two before his ad premiered, he switched everything on his website. This behavior of Kanye is sickening. Thankfully, Shopify has removed all his products from the shop, as I guess he was apparently drop shipping through Shopify or something, and has now banned him. I'm not sure if it's a temporary ban or a permanent ban, but I will keep you guys updated. But as of right now, Yeezy.com looks like this. This whole situation is honestly just sad. Kanye literally went from being a billionaire to having the whole world in his hands to somebody who nobody really gives a fuck about anymore. Like, even your biggest fans are ashamed of this shit.
What? It's just an ordinary crabby.
Take a look at some of these comments. Kanye's done these nasty things, but he's made graduation. That has been the biggest excuse for Kanye amongst his fans for the longest time, but that doesn't work anymore. People are done. He has not only ruined his legacy, but has lost a huge fan base based on the acts he's done within the past 2 weeks. Like, Kanye has completely destroyed his legacy and he does not give a fuck. Just imagine when all his daughters grow up, how they're gonna see him. I guess that's what he wants. He wants to be remembered, he wants to be talked about, and he wants to stay relevant. So I guess you got what you want, but at a cost. Some people think that all these crash outs that Kanye's had over the years is because his mom and dad passed. His dad passed away in 2018 from prostate cancer, and then his mom in 2007 from coronary artery disease. And that's what people think caused the crash out. Kanye has always been a little bit off. He has had a lengthy history within the public eye. For example, a couple years back, it was proved that he was forcing Adidas executives to watch adult videos of Kim on the clock.
Yeah, come on. Doesn't he sound like voice sounds similar. The voice sounds similar.
Did you have a meeting with Adidas and you played?
Yeah, so I'm saying, yeah.
No,
Take it out. What's your perspective on that? I'll tell you mine.
That situation was kind of giving us hints of what Kanye does and is now. He always goes big. Kanye honestly just seems to be like a lost boy who craves a lot of attention. He's openly talked about like he's never felt like he's had enough or has been enough. Like, just take a look at this interview he had.
The fact that I was married to this beautiful person, but I felt like it wasn't enough. I felt like I still needed to look at pornography.
Kanye's constantly been used and hurt throughout the years, and I guess over time this is what it leads to. Let me give you a quick example. There was a trend started last year in August on TikTok called #SaveKanyeWest. And this was because it was alleged that Kanye's dentist was poisoning him with nitrous oxide, and that he actually got Kanye hooked on it.
Ryan Garcia, this I'm on the nitrous.
Now, nitrous oxide isn't deadly unless it's overused or used incorrectly. I mean, it's often used in the dentist as a pain reliever, but it shouldn't be used as an alternative to get you high, which is what Kanye West was using it for. I mean, it's not really even supposed to be used outside the medical field, unless you're a trained professional. But yeah, Kanye's dentist was allegedly selling him this. I mean, it was even rumored that the reason Kanye has not been able to function or put out any good music was because his dentist had been poisoning him for months. As apparently it was also alleged that the dentist, Dr. Thomas Connolly, moved in with Kanye West for months, paying rent-free, and Kanye had no issue with it. Eventually, Kanye got a hold of his nitrous oxide addiction and kicked that motherfucker to the curb. As of right now, I'm gonna say it's all alleged, even though if you guys connect the dots, it's pretty obvious. But as of today and currently right now, Dr. Thomas O'Connolly denies everything. He basically states that all this information is fictional, misleading, and is incorrect, even though that literally all his tweets were leaked on the internet by Kanye West's ex-chief of staff, Milo. Kanye has quite literally been used and abused throughout the years. Honestly, with everything he's been through, it seems it's kind of appropriate to have as many crash outs as he had. That's just not the right way to go about that. Don't go to the internet. That is the worst thing to do. Now, to kind of close off this video, it is alleged that Kanye and Bianca are getting divorced, or at least filing for divorce, since the whole naked scene that happened at the Grammys. And if that wasn't bad enough, his former agent responded with this, effective immediately. I am no longer representing Ye, aka Kanye West. This is due to his harmful and disgusting remarks. He then goes on to say that himself and 33 do not support that. Peace and love to all. This is just not Kanye's month.